for justice!
Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy, Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor, and I am back with a TV review for Invincible, which wrapped up its 4th season, so let's review. Now, I really enjoyed the 3rd season. I thought it was a huge improvement over Season 2, and I like Season 2, don't get me wrong, but the best so far at that point was Season 1, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I was curious as to where they was going to take the series after Season 3. And surprisingly, I think this is better than both Season 3 and Season 2, and I think may just be the best season since the first one, at least in my opinion. And the reason I feel that way is because of the structure of this season and let's just call it what it is, the Omni-Man Apology Tour. Now, what I mean by the structure of this season is I like how they released the first 3 episodes at the very beginning when they premiered the season, and then everything else, and well, there was one more filler episode which I'll talk more about in a little bit, but basically after those first 4 episodes, the season as a whole is what it was, the Viltrumite War. And I just like how they wanted to get all the filler stuff out of the way first in those first couple of episodes so that we can focus on the Viltrumite War. Because the Viltrumite War definitely had a lot of consequences and repercussions for potentially the rest of the season, well, the series, I should say. And what I mean by the Omni-Man Apology Tour is we get some more context about the Viltrumites, and we get just a little bit more world building in which we learn that, hey, the Viltrumites, they just go into different planets trying to take over and kill populations, and the reason for that is because the Viltrumites, there is a virus that's going around killing them. And then we did learn about Thaddeus, who is also a Viltrumite and voiced excellently by Peter Cullen, I'm sorry. But anyways, Peter Cullen, he is a betrayer of the Viltrumites. He just couldn't deal with what the Viltrumites were doing. He thought it was wrong, and so he deflected from them and created the virus, the Scourge virus, that was killing all the Viltrumites. And so now the Viltrumites, at this point, they're just trying to survive, but at the same time, they still don't know their error of their ways, or at least understand the error of their ways. But it's also the literal Omni-Man Apology Tour, in which Omni-Man, Nolan, I should say, he's going on his own little redemption arc. Granted, he has a lot to atone for because he committed genocide on Earth, but he's making those steps to try to be a better person and try to understand his mistakes and why they were wrong so that he himself can be a better person and a better hero. But that's not going to be easy, and we see that through his wife, or ex-wife, I should say, Debbie, voiced by Sandra Oh, and shout out to her. She was the real voiceover MVP of this entire season, because we got the argument of the century, or reunion of the century, in which he's trying to apologize, but he's just not getting it. And then she remembers everything that he did to her emotionally. And I just like the part where she just starts punching him, and then she forgets that, hey, he's a super being that can't be hurt. And then she punches him too hard, and she's like, "Ow!" And I'm telling you, watch the behind the scenes footage of Sandra Oh performing that one scene. Going back to Mark for a little bit, the title character, Invincible, he's kind of still going through his own little thing in which he's trying to reconcile with whether or not he's doing the good thing or a bad thing, and whether or not it's right or wrong to kill dangerous people. And personally, I'm on the side of, like, Mark, I know it's gonna suck that you unalive somebody, but think about it like this: you save more lives than unalived. And I think a lot of people on this show is trying to get him to realize that, but for some reason, he just can't reconcile with that. And of course, it's affecting his relationship with Eve. Side note, she is pregnant at the beginning of this show, and then later on, she does have an abortion, and she does eventually tell him, but she didn't want to tell him before it went off in space, because she just wanted him to focus on getting back home and not getting back home for the sake of them having a child. And I know a lot of people, a lot of loser guys out there that have opinions about Eve making herself out to be the victim. And to those guys out there, I'm just going to say, sit down. As for that 1 week episode that everybody talks about, in which Mark, he gets sent to hell to help a bunch of demons out to take care of an worse evil. To that, I get it. It was a bit of filler episode, but I thought it was still a necessary episode to get Mark over that bridge, to have him where he needs to be before Nolan comes down to Earth and takes him to go off into space to fight the Viltrumites. So yeah, we got the big Viltrumite war, in which everybody has assembled from Alan the Alien. Thaddeus is joining them. And side note, Thaddeus may be old, but he can still kick ass. Oliver even joined them, even though he shouldn't. And then Nolan right beside them. And I just love how Thaddeus, Nolan, and Mark, the three of them, they go in and they actually destroy the Viltrumite planet, which pisses Thrag off. And side note, Thrag, like, I've heard all the hype about him and how dangerous he is, and I'm like, okay, so far I've seen him just do nothing, Thanos style, but then once finally seeing him in action, I'm like, oh, and even by the end of this season, I'm like, I honestly don't know how they're going to beat him. He really is that dude. But the season does end with the remaining Viltrumites plus Thrag just invading Earth in hiding, and he pretty much makes a truce with Mark, which Mark agrees that, like, hey, leave us alone and we will leave Earth intact and we won't do anything, just let us repopulate. In which I don't know how Mark in a way did make the right decision, but at the same time there's no telling what Thrag is going to do. Other than that, there's still the story arcs and lines and characters that are still in limbo, like Machine Head, which I've always enjoyed watching. Cahor finally decided to possess a female body, and this is a story arc that I never really paid attention to until now, in which he's been waiting for decades and centuries trying to invade a male body so he can have a male host, but he just refuses to have a female host, which is sexist in itself. But then he finally decides, you know what, I've been here long enough, I'm gonna possess this female girl, and she's voiced by Chloe Bennett. And I just like her response, like, wait a minute, you're telling me you could have chosen a female host at any time, but you just chose not to. And then overall, I really enjoyed this season. I was excited for a new episode every week. It was like I was watching a Saturday morning cartoon or nightly cartoon. I'm going to give Invincible Season 4 the heart eyes emoji. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen Invincible Season 4? If so, let me know what you think in the comment section below. This your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.